Coming up on Mornings on the Hill, remembering the loss of Sam Nordquist as 7 have been charged in his murder.
Plus updates on the Mexico, New York parking lot shooting at a local Tops grocery store.
Plus, Syracuse students build beds for local children who would otherwise be sleeping on the floor.
And big changes at NBC News as a well-known anchor leaves the desk at 30 Rock. All that plus your weather in orange sports coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Good morning, I'm Sheridan Truly. Thank you for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Maya Alicia. Here's a look at today's top story.
We start with breaking news out of Jamesville this morning. That's about 15 minutes south of campus.
Firefighters from Onondaga County have been on the scene of a big fire that broke out last night at Pallet Company. Charlie Goldberg is live on the scene with more.
Thanks, guys. I'm currently about a mile down the road from BMB Lumber, which is the site of a massive fire that took place here in Onondaga County in Jamesville. The flames began around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and due to the fact that they were around wood and pallets, they took extra long to put out. Multiple teams of Onondaga County Fire Chief were on the scene, and the battle raged on into the late hours of the evening. There are no injuries reported, and right now the flames are completely out. Our team tried to get on the scene as well, and we were kicked out not once, but twice. They said that a private investigation is currently taking place and that they could give us results come Friday. As we get more results here on NCC News, we'll keep you updated, so be sure to stay tuned to our websites and our social medias. Reporting live from Jamesville, New York, I'm Charlie Goldberg.
The local community is still feeling the effects of the tragic death of Sam Nordquist. Our reporter, Vanaya Johnson, is live in the studio with more. Vanaya?
Guys, that's right. Sam Nordquist was murdered earlier this month by the 7 people behind me. He endured repeated acts of violence and torture, leading to his death.
At Patty's Lodge, located in the town of Hopewell, investigators executed a search warrant in the room 22 as a part of their ongoing investigation of Sam Nordquist. Thomas Eves and Kimberly Sochia were added to the list of 5 people charged with second-degree murder. New York State Police Captain shares the following events leading up to the investigation.
Our investigation has revealed a deeply disturbing pattern of abuse that ultimately resulted in Sam's tragic death.
The Nordquist family held a vigil gathering friends, relatives, and community members to honor Sam's memory amid the ongoing search.
The community's bad. It's just those individuals who are sick and decided they wanted to hurt Sam for no reason.
He was a good soul. His whole family is. He didn't deserve this.
Another vigil in Madison, Wisconsin was held on Friday night to honor the lives taken too soon.
Being very mournful for the families who lost their loved ones and for such a heinous of crime. But we are here to lift up their families in spirit and be able to say we also have your back in this time of need.
About 150 people gathered in Syracuse over the weekend to honor the lives lost in the transgender community. Authorities are still investigating the suspect's connections to Nordquist and the events leading to his murder. We'll keep you updated. I'm Vanaya Johnson. Maya, Sheridan, back to you.
Thanks, Vanaya. New information surfaces in a Tops parking lot homicide that took place in Mexico, New York. Our Natalie Simonowitz is here with the updates.
Thanks, guys. Jacob Walsh's accused killer won't be getting out anytime soon. Troopers say Zachary Chilson is being held without bail in the Oswego County Jail. We called Jennifer Jerome, a spokesperson for the state troopers, who said Chilson, who is from Mexico, drove off in a dark Chevy pickup, but he was caught and charged with the following.
He was arrested for murder in the second degree, which is a Class A felony. And he was also arrested for criminal possession of a weapon second degree, which is a Class C felony.
Authorities continue to investigate while Chilson recently claimed self-defense, saying Walsh and a third party harassed him by throwing snowballs at his truck. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Natalie Simonowitz.
Thanks, Natalie. Let's take a look outside with our weather woman. Geraldine, how's it looking out there?
Thanks, Sheridan. We are looking at temperatures colder than yesterday, and while it's not raining now, I've braved it just for a little bit. It will be raining earlier in the afternoon today, and it was raining earlier, so make sure you bring your umbrellas to class today while you're walking. Now, the temperature is sitting here around 42 degrees, but it feels like 39. So while we are seeing these warmer temperatures from the weeks past, it is still cold. So make sure you bundle up for class. And again, bring your umbrellas, guys.
Happening now, correctional officers are still on the picket lines this morning. It has been more than a week since guards across the state started to strike, protesting unsafe working conditions. Our reporter, Kira Saranik, is live in studio with the latest. Kira?
Thanks, Maya. Our source tells us that they have not been told when they will be relieved. The union representing correctional officers, or COs, and the state entered mediation yesterday. COs began protesting about what they say are worsening safety conditions in state prisons. They say ongoing staff shortages and laws that limit their ability to discipline inmates. New York's Taylor Law bans public employees from striking. Last week, the strike grew. On Wednesday, Governor Kathy Hochul brought in the National Guard. A member of the National Guard, who asked to stay anonymous for safety reasons, says they were initially supposed to assist COs. Instead, they've become the new guards, and it's taking a toll on the prisoners. About 3,500 National Guard members were sent to prisons across the state to hand out meals and medication. Our source shared with us the conditions inmates face inside the prisons they are stationed at, saying, quote, "They are deteriorating mentally. They have been locked in their cells since day one. When I arrived on Wednesday night, some blocks hadn't had a shower in 6 days. The National Guard is not allowed to give them shower time. That can only be monitored and ran by the COs. Additionally, they've said, but I just wish that their strike did not put the National Guard in jeopardy. We are not trained for any of this, and we are being told to do it. I personally do not think this is a good use of military resources and personnel. I don't know what else it would be, but I don't feel like this is what we signed up for." Will be released. Live in studio, I'm Kira Saranik for Mornings on the Hill.
Yesterday, NBC had 2 major broadcasting shifts. Lester Holt will soon be stepping down from the network's flagship nightly news broadcast. Holt, who has been anchoring nightly news for a decade, will still remain at NBC, expanding his duties for the network's Dateline show. This transition is expected to arrive at the start of summer. Joy Reid is leaving MSNBC, the network's new president announced in a memo to staff on Monday, marking an end to the political analyst and anchor's primetime news show. Reid's namesake show, The Readout, has been iconic to MSNBC's evening programming since 2020.
Jack McGuire is here to tell us more about the issue plaguing nursing homes in New York. Jack?
Yes, well, several leaders of retirement facilities across New York State are currently advocating for increases to the 2026 state budget, claiming that without them, they'll have no choice but to close their doors.
Nursing homes across New York are contemplating closure, as state Medicaid funding is far below what it has been in the past. While a small portion of retirement facilities are privately funded, most of them rely on public funding to drive most of their operations. Some, such as the Hearth on James, have succumbed to the pressures of the crisis and have been forced to close down. Others, such as Syracuse's Menora Park, are doing everything they can to stay afloat.
We're in a very trying position right now. Our margins are very thin. We have to manage everything very closely, and if we don't get some relief, we may have to do some more radical things, such as closing down a unit or things of that nature.
With over 60 of the beds at Menora Park relying on Medicaid, it costs about $400 a day to take care of each patient, while the retirement home is only receiving about $200 from the government. Part of Chris's frustration also stems from where the Medicaid money is being reallocated to.
The state is paying state prisons over $300 a day to care for the prisoners in prison. The state's paying us $220 a day.
Russ went on to mention that he and other facility leaders have met with state senators and state assemblymen in the past few weeks to advocate for an increase to the 2026 state Medicaid budget, and will continue to do so. From Mornings on the Hill, I'm Jack McGuire.
The popular food delivery app DoorDash will pay almost $17 million to settle claims that it unfairly used customer tips to subsidize the wages of its delivery workers in New York. Rather than let drivers keep the tips on top of their guaranteed pay, DoorDash said it was happy to resolve the suit, but believes it properly represented how Dashers were paid during this period.
Happening now, an event at Shine Student Center that focuses on the big Micron project in the town of Clay.
This is Micron Day happening inside of Shine. When the project is complete, Micron says there will be 4 chip fabs or fabrication buildings, each employing highly skilled engineers.
These are not typical factory jobs. However, those seeking employment at Micron will need to have a variety of skills, not only in manufacturing, but in working in clean room environments.
If you are watching us right now, there is still time to get to Micron Day.
It's taking place on the 2nd floor of the Shine Student Center and runs until 2 this afternoon.
After the break, we'll take a look at your weekly forecast and how Syracuse students are volunteering to build beds for kids in need.
Welcome back to Mornings on the Hill. The latest census report shows nearly half of all children in Syracuse live in poverty, on average the poorest in the nation.
It means many are sleeping without a bed. Sean Tesler introduces us to a community of volunteers working to change that.
Thanks, Maya. Sleep in Heavenly Peace is an organization that is donating beds made in collaboration with SU students. Their hopes? To give every child a bed, one bed at a time. Hundreds of students filled Syracuse University's Sky Barn to volunteer and work as carpenters.
They'll be sanding, they'll be assembling, they'll be drilling. A little bit of everything today so that when we take these back to our shop, we will dip them so that they look finished, and then they'll be ready to go.
Kevin Dudash and his organization's mission is to make sure no kid sleeps on the floor.
45% of the community is in a poverty situation. Many of these kids are sleeping on the floor, pile of clothes, co-sharing a bed with a parent or siblings.
The event is the second time the Syracuse University Volunteer Organization has partnered with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Claire Sicoli, president of the student organization, says it's helping them double last year's total output to 88 beds.
They're phenomenal. It's a very well-oiled machine, and we supplied the students, they supply the wood, and together we're able to make such a good impact, and I'm so grateful to just really be a part of this organization.
Working to make the beds reminded many SU students about how crucial it is to have access to a proper place to sleep.
When you have a bad day, or even when it's cold outside, you don't even realize how thankful you are just to crawl in your bed.
On Saturdays, the latest bed supply heads out to the children. Sicoli says they could use more volunteers to help deliver all the newly made beds. To donate, volunteer, or apply for a bed, visit shpbeds.org. Live in studio, I'm Sean Tesler, Mornings on the Hill.
Thanks, Sean. In honor of Black History Month, we highlight our hidden figures, starting with Claudette Colvin, the 15-year-old who refused to give up her bus seat to a white passenger in Montgomery, Alabama in March 1955, just 9 months before Rosa Parks' most widely known act of resistance. Colvin became one of the first to challenge bus segregation in court.
Many of the things you use today were invented by a Black person. There are 3 things that you use in life that represent Black history. The traffic light made by Garrett A. Morgan, the Marie Van Britten Brown who invented the first home security system, the Super Soaker by Lonnie Johnson. And we're not gonna be able to use that, are we?
Yeah, not anytime soon, Maya.
Guys, I mean, I don't want to use Super Soakers either, but there will be some rain today, so who knows? Like I said, let's just recap a little bit of what's going on today for the weather. It's going to be 42 degrees right now. Feels like 41 around that temperature. Earlier this morning, there was some rainfall. It's going to stay that way. But for tomorrow, we will see a little bit of snow in the early mornings around 6 a.m. It will clear up, would just be cloudy, and then it will be cloudy for the rest of the day. And in the late hours of the night, we'll see a little bit more of rainfall. But now for our 5-day forecast on tomorrow, like I said, it'll be still cloudy. And then that midweek, we're going to be seeing that rain and that snow again. Still in the 40s, we like to see. And unfortunately, that Sunday temperature is not what we want to see, back in the 19 area, 20s areas, but no snow. So just cloudy altogether. Make sure you still have your winter coats out, your umbrellas. It's not going anywhere. The cold weather is not going anywhere too soon, guys.
He's been working with guys specifically to try to get.
Coming up on Orange Sports, the 45th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice. Syracuse men's basketball path to the ACC tournament, and the New York Yankees begin their quest to the World Series redemption. All that and more on Mornings on the Hill after the break.
Hockey, hoops, and haircuts. That's what we've got on the agenda this morning on Orange Sports. I'm Caleb Spinner. Great moments are born from great opportunity. Almost a half a century after Coach Herb Brooks spoke those words, his miracle lives on.
Now, Morrow, up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
45 years ago, the United States stunned the world by upsetting the 5-time champion Soviets at the 1980 Olympics. Brooks and his underdog team turned a long-shot dream into gold. The Syracuse Crunch honored that legendary victory Saturday, wearing jerseys inspired by Team USA's iconic look. The new colors seemed to bring some magic of their own as number 11 Syracuse edged number 2 Laval 3-2. Jack Finley led the way with 2 goals in the upset. The Crunch returned to action Friday, hosting the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins at 7 p.m. Syracuse men's basketball is on the bubble, and it's not the one we're used to. The ACC tournament is around the corner, and tomorrow's game at the Dome has a lot riding on it. Our Maria Wainscott is live in studio with more.
For Syracuse men's basketball, it's now or never. The Orange are on the bubble, but not for March Madness. They're fighting just to make the ACC tournament, and the margin for error is razor thin. For years, every ACC team made the tournament, but with conference expansion, the format stays at 15 teams, leaving 3 on the outside. Right now, Syracuse holds that final spot, but their grip is anything but secure. At 5-11 in ACC play, the Orange are tied with Cal, but hold the tiebreaker from their February 1st win. The team standing in their way, NC State. The Wolfpack is just 1 game behind and heads to the Dome tomorrow night. A loss would drop Syracuse below the cut line, putting them in serious jeopardy of missing the tournament. With Virginia Tech, SMU, and Virginia still ahead, this is as close to a must-win game as it gets. After the loss to Pitt, head coach Adrian Autry spoke about his team's mindset heading into the final stretch.
We got 4 more games. This is life. This is how it is. Right? You got to battle through this stuff. You can't give in. You can't quit. And I don't think they will. That's not what we talk about.
With 3 straight losses and 7 in their last 9 games, Syracuse has no choice but to fight. If the season ended today, the Orange would barely make it as the number 15 seed facing number 11 Virginia Tech in the first round on March 11th. But a loss tomorrow could change everything. Bottom line, win tomorrow and they control their own fate. Lose, and the road to Charlotte gets a whole lot tougher. Tip-off against NC State is at 7 p.m. in the Dome. Everything on the line. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Maria Wainscott.
Spring training is in full swing, but the Yankees are dealing with a familiar problem. For the latest, let's go to NCC's Jill Schumacher.
That's right, Caleb. Giancarlo Stanton, the Yankees' leading home run scorer this postseason, has been dealing with elbow issues. Starting spring training, he has only strictly been doing agility work. Stanton said that he has not swung a bat in close to 4 weeks. But yesterday, he left Florida and returned to New York. The Yankees have stated that his return home was not related to his elbow issues. Manager Aaron Boone said the trip home was of a personal nature. And that is all he can comment on that for now.
Giancarlo's a little behind, just dealing with some elbow stuff that he dealt with last year. Actually, both elbows kind of really akin to tennis elbow. We want to make sure that give that as much time. Probably slow play him a little bit.
Boone said he is not sure when Stanton will return home, but he says hopefully soon.
And Jill, the Yankees are making headlines in another way as well.
Yeah, that's 100% for sure. I mean, the thing is that they're not even making it on the field. They're making it in the barber shop. They're now allowing well-trimmed beards, getting rid of a year-long tradition dating back to the 70s. Would you ever have thought that a rule on beard would be making MLB news?
You know what? It's not hard to believe. I grew up in a house where you had to shave every day, and if you didn't, you'd come downstairs for breakfast and you'd hear about it. So it's fully understandable from my perspective.
All right, so you'll be on the Yankees this roster season.
You know what? I shaved this morning. I should be all right. We'll shift from sports to entertainment as Rosie has the latest updates from awards season, including the Screen Actor Guild Awards. Stick around.
Welcome to entertainment. I'm Rosie Rapisarda, and I have your latest award season updates. Let's dive right in. R&B singer Roberta Flack has died at the age of 88. She was best known for hit songs like Killing Me Softly with this song and The First Time I Saw Your Face. In 1973, Flack made history as the first black woman to win the Grammy for Record of the Year. In 2022, she retired from performing after being diagnosed with ALS, which impacted her ability to sing. Her contributions will continue to leave a long-lasting impact. Jane Fonda gave an emotional speech after winning the Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award. In her address, she talked about the importance of empathy and unity navigating today's political challenges.
Make no mistake, empathy is not weak or woke. And by the way, woke just means you give a damn about other people.
Fonda encouraged her fellow actors to go beyond surface-level connections and work to understand people with different perspectives. Her words highlighted the need for peace, and she reminded everyone that power comes from standing together. The host for the 70th Tony Awards has been announced. Cynthia Erivo will take the stage this year on June 8th to celebrate Broadway's best. Erivo, who won a 2016 Tony for Best Actress in a Musical, is now fresh off her success from Wicked. She says she's excited and proud for the honor to host the awards. In her first major public appearance since leaving office, former Vice President Kamala Harris accepted the Chairman's Prize at the NAACP Image Awards. The prize is given to individuals who excel in public service and leverage their unique platforms to ignite and drive meaningful change. Dave Chappelle, Kerry Washington, and Keke Palmer were also honored at the awards show.
And that'll do it for us this Tuesday here on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Sheridan Truly.
I'm Maya Alicia. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Tuesday live at the AM right here on OTN.